Yeah.
Well, Phil, obviously the focus will be on the FA Cup this week, but you must be pleased that you go into that game on top of the league after that win at Gateshead in midweek.
Yeah, obviously Maidstone away and Gateshead away were two potentially tricky games for different types of reasons, and it was obviously pleasing to come into this FA Cup weekend with another 2 wins and takes into the game in really good spirits.
And the game against Maidstone last Saturday again showed the fantastic spirit and character in the squad. Yeah,
we were in control at 2-0, and then to let our standards drop and came back to 2-2. But great response, and it's really important that in football moments happen, change the course and the dynamics of the game. And as a group, you've got it within you to respond, and we did that really well, and it was an important winner for us.
And again, it shows how many match winners you've got in the squad. Obviously, Aaron Hayden popped up late in that game, and that's satisfying as well, that you're not relying just on one person to score the goals.
Yeah, of course, Aaron's got 11 goals for us this season. He scored regularly last season. He's a real threat, and those moments are key in games. And you look at the other night, it was a tight game at Gateshead, and Tom O'Connor has pops up with the first goal, which just opens the game up. Everybody's got to chip in, and that's important in any team which is ultimately successful. There's got to be goals from all areas which we're getting.
Obviously the league is your priority this season, you've made no secret of that, but how much satisfaction has this FA Cup run given you?
Yeah, we've enjoyed it, and obviously it was we had some tough games. Blythe away, by Spartans way was a real test. There's a lot of history attached to that draw when it came out, and it was a real old-fashioned traditional FA Cup tie, and we were pleased to get through that. And then the subsequent rounds, the last one being Coventry, was just a great day for the club, really, because we took 4,500 fans down there. The atmosphere was just electric, and it was just great to see our players, the team, equip themselves so well on that stage against a good championship side.
Yeah, you talk about the game against Coventry. You were underdogs for that game. Are you relishing that role again against Sheffield United?
Yeah, definitely, because in the league, everybody plays the underdog card against us, which both home and away, and tries to make things as difficult as possible for us with the game plans that they set up from week to week. It was great to go to Coventry really with nothing to lose and everything to gain, and it's the same this weekend. The cup is a bonus for us. It's a welcome distraction, I've said in the last round, from the league, a mental break from that, and we go in there with absolutely nothing to lose, and we just want to represent ourselves well on the day, and exactly what we spoke to the lads about before we went to Coventry. We want to put in a performance in the manner in which we play each week in the National League, and as long as we do that, I'll be pleased.
And the attention, obviously, a cup run brings, it's something that you're well used to in terms of the profile of the club, isn't it? But I suppose there's another level on Sunday.
Well, the live TV cameras here, which is fantastic for the profile of the club, and the owners, since they've come in, and all of us together working hard to put Wrexham firmly back on the football map, and this is a great step in that direction. We wanted a home tie because I just feel the Racecourse deserves a special FA Cup game, and we've got it. And listen, it's going to be a cracking atmosphere. This place is full for the league games, as you know. Even on a Tuesday night, it's full. But there's always a special feel about FA Cup football, and our supporters can come in and really enjoy watching the team play.
You mentioned the owners, of course. We always mention the owners at press conferences. Are they hoping to follow Sunday's game here, or have you heard from them?
I'll probably hear from before the game, but obviously they'll be following the match. They watch every game, home and away, in the National League over in America, and obviously they do make the odd trip over. So yeah, they'll be wishing us all the best, and with a clear understanding that it's a great day for the club, and to be live on BBC television is great, and with the first game on Match of the Day after we beat Coventry, which little things like that, iconic TV programmes to for Wrexham to be on them. Obviously we've had history in the FA Cup in past years, and it's great for us to represent the club in the right way so far in this competition.
Okay, thanks, Phil.
Good. Yeah, from the leading newspaper, which is Wrexham, so local newspaper. What sort of a role do you think the fans can play this weekend? Obviously, it's going to be a really tough game. Sheffield United sort of at the top of the Championship. What sort of a role do you think the Racecourse Ground can play? Yeah,
as they do every week, the crowd have played a key part in our success here at the Racecourse. There's a real intensity about the way we want to play and have played, and the crowd respond to that. And they've been very good with us, because there's been games where we've been behind. Go back to Dover for all the national people who may not know that game, 5-2 down. Crowd, stuck with us, had a belief that we could come back in it. And you don't always get your own way in football, and sometimes you've got to dig deep as a team. Bromley game recently, where we're a goal down, and the crowd's patience was great on that night, and it has been throughout the last 18 months.
Well, thank you very much. And do you think this, obviously, Coventry in the last round was probably the toughest game you've had as manager to date? Do you think this what sort of a challenge do you think it's going to be this weekend? I think it's going to be in terms of comparing it to Coventry.
Yeah, I feel Sheffield United are a level above Coventry, and I think that's obvious in terms of where they are in the league. They're second in the Championship, and obviously Coventry were around the mid-table, but still hopefully getting into the playoffs. And Sheffield United carry a lot of players in the team who've played in the Premiership, so I think it is a level above. But that's what we want. We wanted a test, and we've certainly got one. And they're a very well coached and managed team. You can see that they're well structured. They've got a bit of everything, a mixture in the game, a bit like I feel we have. Obviously at a different level. They can be physical, but they can play obviously as well, and it's going to be a great test for us. And but it's one we're really looking forward to, especially with coming into the game of a great win on Tuesday night.
Thank you very much. And just leading on from that, what do you think you need to do to beat them?
Obviously play our best, be physical, make sure that the underdogs traditionally outwork the bigger clubs, so we've got to make sure we're ready to do that. But I'm absolutely sure we're going to be ready to roll our sleeves up and give absolutely everything on the day, because it's a great opportunity for us to, like we say, put the club or increase the recognition the club's got so far this season and last season. And we're just looking to, like I said, represent ourselves in a way that we've done in previous rounds and every league game so far this season.
Thank you very much. Just on a final note, just a word on the Cop. Obviously, I think this, I'm right in saying this will be the first game you've played at the Racecourse since it's been fully demolished. Just a word, because obviously it has so much history in the FA Cup, the Arsenal tie and everything else. Just a word, a word on the Cop, if that's okay as well.
Yeah, obviously it's it's been completely demolished since we last played here. So slightly different feel to the ground. I think everyone who's here regularly will understand that. But it's progress, and that's important for the club going forward. The stand needed to be redeveloped, and the sooner it is and start being built back up, it'll be great for the club.
Thanks, Phil.
Thank you.
Phil, just a couple. I was going to say, obviously we saw it in the previous round. We all know that FA Cup upsets are very much a doable thing.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, particularly after your experiences at Bradford, you must literally go into every game and think, there's no reason at all why we can't pull this off.
I think you've got to believe, it's pointless turning up, and certainly we believe that if we're at our best, we're going to give Sheffield United a very good game. It's not just about turning up, it's about implementing a game plan, and the players and the lads on the bench understanding that and sticking to it. and we'll set ourselves up to make it as difficult as possible for Sheffield United on Sunday. But like I said at Coventry, we're not going into the game to sit back and soak up pressure. We're going to have a real go at them, and that's what cup football is all about, and that's what we did at Coventry, hence the 4 goals we scored. So we're looking to give Sheffield United as many problems as we can defensively, while obviously respecting what they're all about as a team, but we're certainly not going into the game to sit off them and give them an easy afternoon.
Just finally, like a standard team news check, really, is there any change from like previous match that we should know about in terms of availability?
Yeah, no fresh injury worries. Yep.
When you said earlier, Phil, you're looking for your team to be physical on Sunday, how will you sort of get that message across to the players, and what will you want from them in that respect?
I think it's more, like I said, you've got to be prepared to ruffle a few feathers all over the pitch, to cause upsets. In reality, we've got to say that, we know that Sheffield United, Premiership / Championship players, have got that quality. But we've got to be prepared to fight tooth and nail all over the pitch, and we do that in the league anyway, but even more so in the FA Cup. And we've got to make it as difficult as possible. And if Sheffield United ultimately come off the pitch and they've gone through, I want them to have come off and say, "Wow, that was tough. That was a tough afternoon," and that's the intention. And if the way we play isn't enough on the day, that's we'll be cool with that. But we want to make sure that Sheffield United, if they do get through, earn it every step of the way.
Obviously, I'm sure the cameras are here. On the face of it, it's a non-league team, isn't it, against the Championship team? But in reality, how much of a non-league club are Wrexham these days, in your experience?
The quality of the squad is good. The infrastructure of the club is getting better. Obviously, the owners have taken over, and it's been a fast track, really, in all departments of the club to improve all areas, because it's a club which had very little financial backing for a lot of years. So in terms of structure, we're getting there. We know there's a lot of work to be done off the pitch, i.e. the stadium, etc. The squad itself, I feel we've recruited a good squad. Some players who've played above the level, but more importantly, we've got good characters. And I know from my experience as a manager of many years that character and getting the dressing room right is so important. And the lads are a really good set of lads who work hard for each other every single day in training and every match day.
In terms of the level of support that you've found for the club here, has it surprised you? 10,000 every week, even though it's a popular club, but did it actually slightly exceed your expectations there?
Well, first of all, I think all the lads I've signed, when I sit down and talk to them about the club and talk them into coming here, nearly all said since they've been here, the club's bigger than they expected, or I described. I certainly didn't exaggerate it with a sales pitch when I was trying to sign players. That the catchment area and the passion for the club is excellent. Obviously, there's a real positiveness in the town with the new ownership and everything which has gone on in terms of the documentary and way the area is being portrayed. So yeah, that's just been enjoyable to be a part of. And did I imagine us to be getting 10,000 sellouts, selling out away, 680 fans away at Gateston on Tuesday night is probably above our expectations. But the way you keep that momentum going is by winning football games.
Anything else in the room? Matt, Tommy, have you got anything?
Sound happy?
Yeah, cheers. I'll go first. Cheers, mate. Hi, Phil.
Hi.
How much, from a sort of a manager's and a coach's point of view, do you enjoy these one-off games where it is sort of a slightly different kind of preparation through the week, and you're preparing a different game plan for a club that is 3 levels above you?
Yeah, I think it's a great challenge for the staff, and because when you look at teams at the higher level, you know, every little part of the game is that bit better than what we face week in, week out. You know, whether it's a set play delivery, whether it's a discipline out possession, whether it's the physicality. So, you know, you've got to come up to the plate in many different areas to try and get a result. And so it's a great challenge. You know, clubs at a higher level, players are more tactically switched on, understand the roles and responsibilities, and obviously quality on the ball. So you've got to respect that. And I felt we did against Coventry. I thought, you know, we spoke to the lads going into the game that, you know, about putting pressure on the ball, getting up to the ball quickly, but make sure that you stay on your feet, don't sell yourself. We don't get counter-attacked on. You know, it's not just about running around and charging around the pitch. It's about playing from a structure with them without the ball. And I felt against Coventry we did that really well, and we're looking to do the same against Sheffield United at the weekend.
Yeah, was that one of the most pleasing things about the Coventry game, how they did execute that game plan, but also that they had the character and the bravery to kind of go and impose their own your own play on it?
Definitely, without doubt, and I will be reiterating that again before the weekend. We said it before the last round that we're here today to play. You know, we've got good enough players to get on the ball and play, and I want to see us do that. But I know we certainly won't shy away from showing the bravery to do that, and that's important. You know, it's football's. You know, there's two sides. It's with and without the ball, obviously. Yeah, at the when the stats come out at the end, I'd imagine Sheffield United may have more possession than us. But, you know, equally when we've got the ball, I want to see that element of quality and calmness in our play, which you need if you're going to win football games.
Yeah, has this FA Cup run kind of enhanced kind of how you feel about the mentality of the players and what you've got in there? And sort of what I mean by that is kind of how you followed up that Coventry win with beating Bromley on Tuesday night a few days later, when it's sort of easy to lose those games.
Yeah.
And you kind of felt on the outside kind of like a big win from that. You maybe played great, but you still got the win, and that maybe shows you what you've got in your dressing room.
Yeah, well, I think I said at the end of the Bromley game it was as big a win as we'd had all season because of the factors we've discussed. Going to Coventry in a high-profile game, and the physical data on the day was the highest for us of the season. The lads had given everything, and to come against Bromley on the Tuesday, you'd had a free weekend, and get another win. I thought, yeah, great character again. But yeah, I think you learn all the time about individual players and the collective. And, you know, Blythe Spartans away, you know, tough game. Farnborough at home, who'd already beaten a league team away from home, came here with the nothing to lose underdog mentality, and we had to work really hard in that game to win it. The conditions were poor. It was a scrappy game, but we had to fight. So I think you're always learning about individuals and the team as a whole, and this will be another test for us in terms of the kind of calibre of the opposition goes up a notch, and let's see, you know, how we fare on Sunday.
Yeah, just one final one from me. Does it kind of feel important, and you sort of feeling that impact of this FA Cup run and what it's doing for the town, like say, creating a bit more history and kind of writing your own FA Cup chapters as well?
Yeah, I think that's great, and everyone who was at Coventry won't forget that game. You know, if you're in the middle of the fans behind the goal, you'll never forget the atmosphere. And yeah, that's what football management is all about: creating memories for families who come and watch, and hopefully in years to come they can talk about games they've seen. Yeah, of course, that's the aim on Sunday, to make it a cracking cup tie, and that's what we're going to try and do.
Thanks, Phil.
Thank you.
Hi Phil.
Hi Tom, you alright, mate?
Yeah, not bad. Did I hear you say the no fresh injury worries? Is that right,
yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, great stuff. Just following up what Matt said there, really. I mean, it would have been easy in recent games, looking at the games over the last week, for example, for the lads to take their eye off the ball, but it was two fantastic. Well, you know, certainly the second half at Maidstone, and then the second half again against Gateshead. They've got their eyes on the prize of promotion. Yeah,
I mean, just to correct you there, I thought first half against Maidstone we were very good. You know, we should have come in 2 or 3 up really. The last half hour at Maidstone we were probably disappointed. But yeah, no. But we spoke to the lads after the Coventry game, and certainly after Bromley, leading to these two away games. About the importance of the league and the spotlight, and everywhere you go, people are talking about the FA Cup. I said, but we've got to block that out because we've got two tough away games, and I personally won't enjoy being on the touchline on Sunday. Live on telly if we haven't done ourselves justice at Maidstone and Gateshead, and I really wouldn't, because that is so important for this club. And now we've done the work there, the lads can go out and just enjoy the day.
Yeah, absolutely, my mistake. I didn't mean the first time.
Yeah,
but,
sorry Tom.
Yeah,
You normally get everything right.
Just another one. Obviously, all the lads will be well up for this on Sunday, but especially Callum McFadden, Sheffield lad, ex-Sheffield United, and Mark Howard as well. Yeah,
well, two players who've got a bit of history at the club, and of course, the Coventry game, Callum's brother was at Coventry, even though he's injured at the moment. So there seems to be a Callum McFadden theme running through the cup draws. It's a special day for those lads, and it is an occasion. It really is for us. But as we always say, it's the process of how we need to go about the job on the day, which has got to be the focus from when that dressing room door's closed, and it will be.
Yeah, and just finally, Phil, you're talking about the fans, etc. before. The belief in the town is just incredible, isn't it? I mean, this club, you talk about the history in the FA Cup, which is fantastic, but it's been success for quite a few years now, and it just really feels the belief in the fans. Special times, isn't it, Phil?
Yeah, no, it's... I can only repeat what I said, but 680 fans on a Tuesday night at Gateshead. I don't think a lot of Championship clubs would have taken that following. And for all the gents here who are not normally at these press conferences, everywhere we go on our travels, the following we get is outstanding. And the lads know there's a responsibility attached to that, and we're always reminding them of that people pay hard-earned cash home and away, and we've got to make sure they get value for money.